What is up, guys? It's your boy, it's Lightning here, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys each smoke character's smoke agent's abilities. In the last kind of like YouTube shorts, I don't know if you guys saw it, I explained the basics of this controller player, but each smoke player or controller agent isn't the same. So that's what we're going to go over in today's video. So if you guys do enjoy this video, at the end, please hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment what other agents you want me to do, like Duelist, Initiator, or Sentinel. So let's get right into the video. In the last video, I showed off Omen's abilities. So I showed off Omen's smokes. Omen's smokes are just like a black orb. These are what we call orb smokes. They're just a big circle of smokes. You can look in them. These orb smokes are a little bit different because you can see the inside of this orb right here. So I'm going to go ahead and throw another one. You can see the orb, like the inside of the orb. So Omen's Q ability is his Paranoia. It is a blind that can reach up to 37 meters. And before, I think it has changed, but before you used to be able to change the speed of the blind, where if you were walking forward, it would go faster, and if you were like backing up slightly, I think they changed it so it's all the same speed. This blind can mostly cover every choke point there is. So you can shoot through here. You can't really see it on the map because of my camera, but just know you can go into custom yourself and try to find what's the most optimal paranoia point for your team, because I mean, of course it can be used as a solo blind, but it's more optimal as a team blind to blind for your teammates. And his last normal ability is going to be his teleports. The max range you can teleport is 21 meters. 17, 15. Yeah, 15, about 15, 16 meters. You can get to some good spots, some really good spots here that you can't like normally. So of course on this thing you can get on this box. You get on any box that you can't jump with normally. Like of course you can TP onto Jenny, but that would be a waste because you can just crouch jump onto it. You can get on top of this box. So of course again you can go into custom yourself and try to find some good TP spots. I know a lot of people like to blind. So let's say if there's like 2-3 people main, they would like to blind and then TP behind them just to get the drop. I see a lot of those clips there, and if you're able to time it right, it's a really, really good play. So let's move on into the next agent. So it might look a little different for this clip because I'm actually recording after the fact, but I completely forgot to mention Omen's ultimate as I'm editing. So we're gonna go over Omen's ultimate right now. So basically his ultimate is his ultimate is like his TP, but you can TP across the whole map. So the center circle is him, where you're gonna be ulting, and then that huge circle around is where how do I explain this, is how far the enemies can hear you ult. So if you're within this huge circle, you can hear the Omen ult because it has a little sound cue. So if I'm on A main and let's say if we TP B, obviously the whole like enemy team is gonna hear the ultimate, but they don't know where you're ulting. That big circle is to indicate like how close you are to the ult. And I'll show you what sound cue it is, because you can actually hear it for yourself. It's watch them run. My ultimate them run. My ultimate run. My ultimate is ready. So it's after you get to that white screen, you'll hear it. So basically that's Omen's ultimate. When you're in that white phase, the enemy team can shoot you and you'll just dissipate back to where you initiated the ult. So with that being said, let's now go to the next agent. Brimstone has been in the agent pool since beta, just like Omen. So Brimstone is a little bit different. So remember how in Omen you can physically, glide across the map to, place your smokes down. With Brim, you pull up a screen and now you have a limited radius to put your smokes down. This radius can mostly cover half the map if not almost full map if you're kind of in the mid range. So yeah, if you're in mid, you can see the whole map. So if I'm from mid, I can smoke main, I can smoke B main, I can smoke mid bottom, mid link, mid top. But with the downside of that is that he only has 3 smokes and they're not rechargeable like Omen's. They don't have a time limit. You only have 3 smokes per round. His smokes are wider. I think they're like maybe 2 meters wider. And remember how I said in Omen smoke you can kind of see inside of it? With Brims you can barely see. It's like kind of muggy, kind of foggy. You can see the edge a little bit, but if someone was to stand right there, I wouldn't be able to see him because that's just how his smokes are. I don't know, it varies from different agent. His second ability is his molly. Everybody knows Brim lineups, Brim molly lineups. His molly's really only good for that. Now don't quote me on this. I have seen where you can smoke this and then molly. His molly seems to really like disappear within his smoke. It's like his smoke really good. His smoke covers it really well. Like you can barely see that his molly's in there. So like a good smoke molly combo is always nice. You know, get a little tick damage off the enemy. Of course, you have your Brim lineups. I know that there's a very easy trick for Brim. So let's say if I wanted to smoke this. So I want to look up. You want to look up. Then you want to smoke the bomb or whatever you're planting. And right where the smoke like appeared, you want to throw your molly. So and this should hit. Like I said, yep. It should hit where the smoke landed. Here there's Jenny, so it landed on top of Jenny. But that's like the simplest Brim lineup you can ever have, just for anybody who didn't get it. So you're going to smoke on top of bomb or wherever you planted. First you want to look up because it's kind of quick. So you want to smoke, then look at the circle where the ring appeared. I'm obviously going to replay. Then you just want to shoot your molly. You can do this really pretty much from anywhere. It's going to bounce, of course. And it's just going to get in that general direction. And now for his ultimate is called a orbital cannon. This can be used in so many different ways. One, you can play it for post plant. Someone's planting. Really, it's up to you on how you use the Brim ult. As long as you do something with it, you can't just Brim ult something and not get any value out of it, because then that's just a waste. So just try to be creative with it, but also don't try to be stupid with it. It's really good ult because I think it's a 2-tick or 3-tick kill. I could be wrong. Leave a comment down below if it's whatever tick it is. So now let's move on to the next agent. So now our next agent is going to be Viper. She is a different type of controller. And what I mean by this is her signature ability is her Viper's wall. So let me give you a bit of a demonstration. So you can see this little UI here, or this little indicator, this green indicator is where you shoot your wall. My first tip on using Viper, I haven't seen any Vipers in a while, but if she does come back into meta, is make sure you aim your Viper's wall really high so it doesn't get stuck on anything on the ground. So once you deploy your Viper's wall, you'll see these little things on the ground. Then you're going to press your whatever keybutton you have. Mine's mouse button 4. Then it's going to bring up this wall. This wall is actually not, you can't get hurt by it, but for the enemy team, you can get decayed. So once you walk through the wall, I wonder see if I can do it. Yeah, no. For the enemy team, once you walk through the wall, you will get decayed for a little while, like maybe 3 seconds. Could be wrong. 2-3 seconds, but you can't pick it up. That is the downside. You can't pick it up, and this little bar, take off infinite abilities. This little bar on the bottom is how much juice you have for your wall. So if we bring it up, you see it's really running down really quickly, and it only has enough time for like a really mild speed execute, and it automatically goes down. And then I think it takes about 30 seconds, if I'm not wrong, 30, maybe 15 to 25 seconds to completely refill around that area. And once it's refilled, obviously you can put the wall back up. But leading on to her second ability is called her Viper's Orb. So just like any other smoke, she gets an orb smoke, but it also is connected to the bar, which is her juice. This is just like her brim smoke, just like the brim smoke. You can't really see you can't really see anything in it. With Viper's Orb smoke, you can actually see better in it than brim smoke, because the colors enemies in her orb smoke will highlight more, if that is understandable. So don't worry about you not seeing the enemy, because it's a little bit more visible than brim smokes. And at a certain point, you can't actually, so right here, I think it's at this tick right here, you can't turn anything. If the bar is past that point, you can't activate another ability. So say if your orb is activated, you can't activate your wall past this tick point. So her third ability, so now her third ability is just her molly. Same thing as brim molly, but it's a little bit more, it's a lot less effective. So the tick damage is not really that fast compared to Brim's molly. So really you would have to play off. This is a good molly to maybe get someone off. This isn't a really good molly to get someone off the bomb like a brim molly would, because a brim molly would fully kill someone. This is like a molly to decay them and then spray at the bomb. So I could, let's see, take this and say if I just molly it, and then I spray the bomb because they're vulnerable and they take more damage. That is that type of molly. So don't ever rely on Viper mollies, Viper mollies from halfway across the map trying to kill someone while they're on defuse, because it won't kill them fully, unless they're low health. But let's say it's someone who isn't low health and they're 150 HP, it's not going to kill them. So for her final ability, which is her ultimate, is called her Viper's Pit. So her Viper's Pit is a big orb smoke. So it's a big smoke orb, and it has a huge radius. The radius of her smoke is depending on how much area it's around. So let's say if I did it, I know that was really like weird to say and like weird to understand, but if I did it right here in the middle, think of it as a huge circle. Like I have a huge circle somewhere. So let's say right here. So since it indented here, it's going to push out a little bit more somewhere else. Of course, the ultimate can vary of where you are, and the height on where you are, the height on where your character is, or where the ultimate is being placed. So like if I did it here, did it there, you can see that it's on the base, it's on this base structure, and then it slopes down. And then you can see that it kind of roams into here. It's really a roamer's ult. Viper's not recommended on Ascent, but let's just say someone was playing Viper on Ascent. They could come over here, and then they can ult this area right here. And look how much space it covers. So one, it blocks off main right here. And then you can slip past here all the way into lane. So of course, again, you just have to, this one, you really have to go into custom and try to figure out what's the best Viper placement. I usually just only play Duelist. So the research is going to be happening on you. It just depends on what you're comfortable with. Now let's head on to the next agent.